Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Jummy, your humble host. As you can already see by the title box, today we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic titled Housing Problems in Nigeria. Of course, I can't do this alone. It has to be a very interactive session. And that's why I'm here with my friend, a very good friend of mine, a sister, a music minister, in fact, an entertainer. We call her the praise machine. You know what? Let me pass the camera to her so she can introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Lagos. Hello, Nigeria. My name is Precious Destiny, and I'm a media host, voiceover artist, a script writer, red carpet host, everything media. That's what I do.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on this show.
Yay.
Thank you, Jumoke.
We're so excited to have you.
I'm so glad to be here.
So you've heard the topic, housing problems in Nigeria. What comes to mind when you hear that?
Okay, so first of all, there are three things that a human being cannot do without.
Right.
Like, they can't do without. First is food.
Right.
Second, shelter.
Right.
The third is your clothing.
Right.
So these are the three basic things we cannot do without. So when we talk about shelter, it's like if you don't have a house, like you don't have a place to lay your head. So there was one time when I was working at Oshodi, I was on my way to work at about 5:30, 6 a.m. early in the morning. So when I was crossing the bridge at Oshodi, I noticed that there were some young people, even children, sleeping on those bridges, streets. So shelter is something, or housing is something that every human being cannot do without. Right. It's a blessing when you have one covering your head, no matter how small, no matter how whether it's looking like a hut or it's looking like I don't care, but it's something that is important.
Right.
It's important.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's bring this topic down to Nigeria. You've said something that really amazed me, and I'm sure our viewers will be interested as well. So people that live under the bridge, I'm sure you wonder why. And I know that there are so many reasons to that, but I would love to hear from you. Why do you think they live under the bridge?
Okay, first of all, one, it could be accessibility to a perfect place to live. Secondly, it could be fund. Or majorly, it could be fund. Because you can't tell a pure water seller who wakes up as early as to sell maybe 2 bags of water at the end of the day to pay for, let me say, for instance, a self-contained of 300,000. Like, how many days does he need to sell those pure waters to make returns that will give him or her that amount of money to pay for? Yeah. Don't forget that this person has to eat. And from that pure water, sachet water, as they call it, from that sachet water, you have to drink. And don't forget that your income as a seller is also being extracted from what you're taking.
Right.
So I don't know, but housing is something that is very important that, okay, take for instance, there's this guy that I saw one early morning like that. I would always share this story because it's a real life story. It's not like I fabricated it.
Right.
So I noticed that whenever I come to work, because I used to work with one of the TV stations before now. So I noticed that as early as that's 5:30, 6 a.m., whenever I'm coming, the guy is actually baiting at one uncompleted building. And then when I'm trying to come out, like enter the gate of the office, the compound, I just noticed that the guy just throws her bag that contains her clothes into one rejected or abandoned vehicle around that place, just straight, and then he moves. And he's looking like a normal human being, like there's no problem, there's nothing. But there is a problem. There's a problem. Accessibility of fund, the high cost of rent is really telling on the citizens of Nigeria, if not Lagos. I have been a victim of several house issues. Like, landlords, please, what did we do wrong? Okay, first off, when I came to Lagos State as a core member, 2018, 2019. So after staying at NCCF, we call it Nigerian Corpus Fellowship, their house, after staying. So you are permitted to stay for a period of 1 year. Then you look for your apartment or you relocate or however you want to do yourself. So after that 1 year, I had issues with houses because my salary then, okay, first of all, I couldn't save up, funny enough, as a copper, because I was earning 19,800. And my salary
19,800.
That was as at 2018. 19,800 naira. Hey, as at 2018, 2019. And I was working with a media station, and I was earning 20,000 naira as a copper. Now, calculate it for the whole, and my transportation to my place of work almost takes like 25,000 naira for the month. I couldn't even save up at the end of the whole the service year. That's one. So when it was time for me to, look for a house, should I tell my story? I will tell.
Yes, please.
So I had to go back to my uncle's place to squat with them because there was no cash at hand to further. So there was this friend of mine, we served together. So she wanted to get an apartment. Okay, she wanted to leave her apartment because she was getting married. And she had a period of 6 months left. So I had to pay up that 6 months. And that 6 months was supposed to be 200 per year. So I had to pay 100,000 naira for the remaining 6 months. Now, in that 6 months, this is somebody that just finished service and looking for job, a paying job, that pays you at least 100,000 per month. And I hadn't gotten then because I was still on that training. My office said you have to be trained, blah, 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 and all that. So I had to pay, however I got brought that money, I don't know. I had to pay the money, 100,000 naira. And don't forget, every month I have to pay for Loma, I have to pay for utility bills, I have to pay for NEPA, I have to pay for one thing or the other. Like those landlords, I don't know if they carry tenant for head or for mind. Like you just have to pay something at the end of every month. How am I paying it? Okay, so when it got to 6 months, this is where I'm driving at. When it got to that 6 months, end of the whole 100,000 I paid for. Now, this wonderful landlord of mine, God bless you wherever you are. Amen. But this wonderful landlord of mine actually told me to pay 350 renewal of rent, 150 agency and commission. Where am I going to get 500k to pay
as against 200k?
As against 200k that it was. And it's not like I'm paying like a new person. I had already lived for 6 months. So it's like I'm your tenant already. So, but he wanted me to pay 350,000 rent, 150,000 for agency, agreement, commission, whatever they call it. Like, where am I supposed to get that money from? So it was really not, I had to look for where to go. And the man gave me, he didn't even give me a month or 2 months to get myself ready. He gave me a few days. Like, my rent was supposed to expire 15th of June. I had to leave there 9th of June. Because if not, they will throw my things outside. And this is not what it's supposed to be. For crying out loud.
I mean, I think, I'm sure Nigerian landlord or landlady, I'm sure you guys have an association. And I feel like you all need to meet because what's this? Even this is one aspect of what you guys do. Another aspect that really like annoys me and, just always wants me to just say something, but I'm not going to say is, you have the money, right? But you do one interview, especially when you're a lady. Let me give an instance. 2 years ago, when we wanted to get our apartment, myself and my sister, we got the apartment, we checked. Then it was time to meet with the owner of the house because, you need to meet. We haven't paid. Then they started interviewing us, asking us, how are we going to, be able to pay the next year?
I didn't even tell you that story. Just continue. I didn't say that part. I just cut it short.
If I'm coming to get an apartment of so amount, let's say 350k, of course, I've planned ahead and I know I need to, if I want to stay, I need to continue. Because another thing within states is in Nigeria, you renew your rent or you pay your rent on a yearly basis, right?
Yes.
So, I have 12 months to plan. I'm not jobless. Even if I'm jobless, I can leave your house, but you shouldn't ask. Maybe it's a safety kind of precaution and all that. Then, okay, I've explained that part. I'm going to plan. We're working. We share the bills. Then they now go, are you married or single?
That's the height of it. Like that's the height of it.
Am I married or single? How does that relate to me getting an apartment? Like there was even one podcast I listened to recently. They brought a landlord to their show.
Okay.
And then the lady was asking, I can't remember her name. She was asking, Why do you always do that? Why do you always say you have to be married? Then the man was really defending the fact that you need to be under, as a lady, you need to be under a
somebody.
man's
Says
roof
who?
to be able to
Says
pay.
who? Like, says who?
I laugh.
It doesn't stop the person from paying the house rent. I mean, anybody before, even the Bible says, before you build, count your costs.
Right.
So you would have counted that, okay, I can be able to pay this amount of money. If not, I don't want to take your house.
Even if I can't pay, I'll leave.
I will leave at the end of everything. So you don't need to put your tenants under pressure.
Yes.
Under pressure. It's
Please,
not worth it.
Have a meeting. And invite us to come and say our mind, because we're ready to say our mind.
Honestly,
have a meeting.
Honestly, it's really alarming. It's really alarming.
It is well. You know what? The next thing I want us to go and delve into is the issue of the people living under the bridge.
Okay.
I'm sure some of our viewers will be wondering, why are they living under the bridge? You've explained to an extent, costs. What was the other thing you said?
The funding,
availability, accessibility.
Yes.
And I mean, we're in Nigeria, and in Nigeria we have 36 states, and we have different governors or governments for different states.
Yes.
And because I live in Lagos, I want to speak based on Lagos and what I know about Lagos. I know that some of these people living under the bridge are internally displaced people.
Okay.
Some of them are beggars. Some of them, they can't work. They are disabled, right? And I'm aware, because I made my research. I didn't want to just speak hypothetically.
Okay.
I made my research, and I know that the government in general, they have a total of an estimate of 309 camps in Nigeria. I mean, we should applaud them.
Yeah, that's right.
But guess what? Only 40% of these internally displaced people are living in the camp.
Yeah.
The 60% of them, why are they not in the camp?
Zambisa. That's on a lighter mode, actually. But if government has gotten up to 40 and 60, so where are the 60? Is it
under
that
the bridge?
So okay, now how can they access?
Oh well.
How should they access?
I'm sure at Nigeria again, we have local government, and I mean that's the nearest place they can go to. I mean, go to your local government area, ask them, tell them.
So there's something that is coming to my mind.
Okay.
How about people are just giving out houses in the name of government to people who they know?
Come again.
Okay, like for instance, because I know there's someone that stays beside me that used to stay on the street, same street, and he doesn't have a house. I'm like, okay, government has something for you, and I give access to him or her, and then he finds himself or herself at the house
IDP.
that has been built for. What about people that they are not cannot access? They are not aware.
Yeah.
They need to do more of creating an awareness for people. And you don't create, those people don't create awareness for them on social media.
Right.
Most of them, what they have is
media.
Nokia Touch.
Yeah.
You can't beat them. It's what they can afford. Some of them don't even have phone. Don't even have mobile phones. So I feel that there should be an awareness. Maybe one of these days, maybe once in a month, twice in a month, or once in 6 months or in 3 months, just go meet them, play with them, talk with them. Okay, do you know so and so are available for so and so? You know, there's this empowerment coming up for people who stay like this. Just let them know what is accessible to them. Don't just hoard it because you have your own people that you want to give it to. You have your own people living around you. It doesn't work like that. We all are human beings. I mean, they should be sensitized.
I mean, QuantmWorld is an NGO organization, and I know of a lot of other NGOs that are actively doing these things you've suggested. I mean, I'm not canceling the fact that we should do more on the awareness part, because I know of an influencer, Chioma Gude. She did like a mini rally on the island, because I mean, people believe that, you know what, we'll go back to that. So on the island, you'll be surprised to see that there are some people there that actually do not have access to a roof over their head. And she has done so well in building a place, not building per se, but she has like, I wouldn't call it an IDP, maybe I'll call it an orphanage home,
Okay.
where she visits them, she clothes them, she
Wow.
even sends some of them to school.
That's
She
nice.
she provides for them their daily need. I'm sure people, some of them didn't know that there are government houses where they can stay, and
yes.
she took it upon
On
herself
herself
to
too.
do that, not because the government is not doing it, but
Okay.
because there can be more. It's never too much. It can never be too much. And yeah, so she has done that as well. So I want us to, I mean, we should appreciate that. Thank you, Chioma Gude. Another person that did that bought house for his community is Mr. Easy. I mean, these influencers are actually going very
Giving
hard.
back to the society.
They are giving back to the society. I'm sure there are many more that, because if we say we want to leave these things to our government, it's not that they will
It's
not
not everything.
do it.
Yes, it's not everything that
They
will be
will
able
do
to
it, but they can't do everything. And I'm really grateful to the likes of Mr. Easy, the likes of Chioma Goodyear for, taking it upon themselves to, do these things and take care of these people. Because I mean, if they could afford it, they wouldn't need it in the first place.
That's true.
And yeah, I'm grateful to you for that. So the next thing I want us to speak on is
Okay.
the classes, the societal classes in Nigeria.
Okay.
Would I even say in Nigeria? I feel like, because they taught me this in secondary school, and I feel like it is not a Nigeria thing. What do you think about the societal class?
Okay. It's not a bad thing to classify somebody, because first of all, you are there. That's the choice. Yes.
Right.
If you made money more than that, you'll be where you want to be.
Right.
So it's not like it's a bad thing per se, except, or rather, depending on the context, the person is saying it. So there has to be a rich person or wealthy per se. There has to be average and there has to be poor.
Yeah.
If not, imagine everybody is rich, like everybody's wealthy. Nobody will need the help of anybody.
Right.
And now imagine if everybody is average. You don't have so much. We are just there. We are just stuck up there. We will just be stuck there forever. Right. And imagine everybody is poor, with poor mentality. We are going to be poor forever. So I think there is need for the three classes too. But then, because you're poor doesn't mean you should remain poor. And then that you poor, that you don't have money, doesn't mean you have a poor mentality or poor mindset that you won't make it tomorrow. There's this guy, this boy on social media that has been trending, that used to say from Canada to Aba. He sells vegetables, he sells star apple, he sells everything sellable. He's from Abia State. He will tell you that he's from. So I don't think that guy has a mindset of poverty.
Right.
No matter. Right. So he didn't allow where he grew up to speak more about him or to define him. That's the word. To define him. He still wants to push, even though he's selling those things that are irrelevant and making people laugh. But to him, he's building himself, and he doesn't know tomorrow a brand can just talk about the guy that Aquafina guy that
right.
Before you know it, he just told you the benefit of water, and that's all.
Bottled water.
Okay, talk about the bread seller. That's how it changes.
And I mean, so I feel like, sorry to cut you, I feel like these three classes are relevant. Like
if they can't do without.
Yes. They are
society.
intertwined. And I feel like, what was I going to say? I feel like the social media as well has also impacted so now let's classify those classes. The upper class, the middle class, and the lower class.
Yes.
Most times we want to see more of the upper classes online. And I feel like because I'm on the lower class, I want to aim to get to the middle class. From getting to the middle class, I want to aim to get
higher.
I mean, we need to look up to these people. So let's now bring it down to housing issue now. These three classes now, we have like you said, we have the upper class to help the lower class.
Yes.
We have the middle class. In fact, the upper and the middle class to help the lower class. And I feel like in the world we're in today, nothing should restrict you. Like I said, your mindset. You can be poor and have a rich mindset.
Most definitely.
You can be poor. In fact, what we just need to see is your mindset, your ideas. And before you know it, boom, that's the end. Like the Aquafina guy again. There are a lot of people that, I mean, so let's talk about Jumoke, the bread seller, which is a very popular one that I'm sure everybody knows about. From selling bread.
That's all. She was just photogenic. And that's
she
it.
was selling bread.
And she was selling bread.
And another thing
That's
is, these people that were seeing that they are helping online, they have a work that they are doing.
Mm-hmm. Source of income for them.
Yes. So you can't say because I'm in the lower class, I can't do anything. I can't afford it, so I wouldn't do it.
So do you know why people always remain where they are? Some say, let's fake it till we make it. I don't totally agree with faking it till you make it.
Right.
But packaging
it's necessary.
till you make it. I will support that one.
What
but
does
faking
packaging
it
mean?
Is a different package. You say, okay, now let me say for instance, okay, let's even use the guy for that sells Star Apple.
Okay.
The way he packaged his English to sell his product, it doesn't mean he's well educated.
We're going to insert a video of that.
He might have even gone to a public school, funny enough. But probably the movies he watched or who he's watching or looking up to inspired him to speak like that.
Yeah,
and he is here today.
Yeah.
So it's not like the one I'm against is the one that will be in Lekki. You know that your money, you cannot buy pure water to even wash your face.
Oh my God.
You now want to transport with a friend that probably has sugar mommy or sugar daddy that is taking care of them. And
what
you
does sugar daddy mean?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Daddy that has sugar. That's by the way. But I know you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying that just cut your clothes according to your size. You don't have to go and live in Lekki, Chevron, this one, just because you want to satisfy. I'm not saying you cannot package. You can package your product. You can package whatever you are selling, to high-class people, speak well, dress well, look good, smell nice. Just the way you should be addressed. Right. But don't overdo it. Something that tomorrow to make you look fake. Like one lady that went to a house and snapped and said it's her house. She later blew her. I don't want to call the person's name, but I'm just saying, you don't need to fake it. You just have to be yourself and grow in that space of yours with your God. You will make it. Right. It's not in this Nigeria and this world. You will make it. Right. It just takes one day. Actually.
One day we'll make it. Honestly, one day we'll make it. And I feel like we didn't educate the viewers on the current situation in Nigeria.
Okay.
I mean, we've given you an idea of what it is, but currently in Nigeria, an average Nigerian cannot afford to pay their house rent. And guess what? Even if they can afford, let me rephrase. An average Nigerian can probably afford, let's say, 100K for their house rent.
Yes.
But guess what the minimum wage is? 33,000.
33.
33K. And even if, for example, you have 100K to afford, you are comfortably dropping 100K. The houses you will get in this our country.
Is it the one that they will tell you that, let me take you to the house, bring the money, nah, you will complete the window. There is no hope. You will go to a house, uncompleted building. I don't know, agents. I don't know. Do people have people's interests at heart at all? Like they will carry it to one uncompleted building that does not have window, no door. They tell you if you pay money now, the next 25 minutes. Okay, so there was an experience I had while in search of my wonderful house in Lagos, somewhere in Lagos. So I went to that place. Thank God, Almighty God, that I went during rainy season. The house was flooded.
Like the building.
Like inside the room, flooded. And there's this thing about Lagos houses that Lagos houses, must we enter through the kitchen to get to your room or get to your parlor? Like almost all Lagos houses have that. It's either they pass through the toilet or pass through the kitchen before they get to the sitting room. It doesn't make sense.
Exit.
When I came to the southwest, that's when I saw in eastern part of the world where I come from, we don't build like that. I mean, I'm a town people girl. We don't build like that. How can you pass through my kitchen to enter my sitting room? So when I
emergency exit.
Which Emma what?
Yes, now.
Like that. And it's not like the toilet or the bathroom is even looking nice. It's one place that even your body, as fat as I am, I cannot even enter it. Like you have to squeeze yourself, so that you can enter the bathroom. It doesn't make sense. And you'll be paying 350,000 for that kind of a house. The house is flooded. The toilet is nothing to show for it. There is no light. water is even wahala. You have to buy from your neighbors. It's
Sorry,
it's
I'm
not fair.
interested in the fact that you checked an house and it was flooded.
Yes.
And the agent took you there.
I even paid the agent to take me there. I paid 5,000 naira for service, just to take me around, just to show me
And
the
the
house.
man had the mind to carry you to.
He took me there and
But
said,
maybe he didn't know.
he did not know what. Like he made call in front of me. He took me there. He told me that once I bring the money now, they are going to seal it up with sand. I'll be kiniko. I don't even know how
What?
I just looked at him. I was like,
The effrontery though. Really? Really?
the peace of the Lord be with you. I just turned my back. I did not come back to him.
Wow. I mean, that's the situation of the country we are in now. We're not saying the government are not trying.
They are trying,
in their
actually.
own way. And I mean, these houses that we're even looking to rent or looking forward to rent, they are owned by individuals.
And do you know that these houses have been built for years? And when they give you price, you're like, is fuel scarcity actually affecting the house?
I mean,
And I don't know. Immediately, dollar increases or fuel increases or anything increases in Nigeria, house rent increases.
you know, I want to give accolade to a man I know, my
Okay.
father. He, you know, the last year was not funny at all. You can
It was
bear
not funny.
witness.
It was not.
And because my dad is also a landlord, daddy, you too, you have that meeting with other people. So he decided, you know, by December, you know, you are already looking forward to paying your rent.
Yes.
And he decided out of his own heart to, you know, give his what do I call them? The tenants a 1 year free rent. He
Please,
said,
does he have a house in that place?
and
Again? I
guess
can
what?
come and live.
Guess what?
Yes.
Our house rent was due in our own house.
Wow.
He doesn't live with us,
Okay.
but because we need more people like him.
Like him.
So, you know,
yes.
think and have human feeling.
That's just it.
Like, what would he? And I even saw another person on social media
Who did
out
that?
of the country that also did that. And when my brother told me, I was like, really? And we have not paid
Even if they don't, okay, we're not even asking them to waive the whole. Even if you don't waive the whole thing, 6 months, please pay
give
6
them
months.
time. Give them time. You know what the situation is saying.
I mean,
how many brands, how many companies shut down during this last
some
year?
companies laid
How many
laid off their workers. They laid off. Funny enough, my company had issues as at last year.
Wow.
Financial issues. Like it was as well. For a period of more than 6 months, I didn't receive salary.
Whoa.
Not to talk of stipend. I didn't receive anything from my company. And I can't force my boss to give me money from where there is no
you're
money.
seeing what
So
is
because it's
happening.
affecting him too. So I mean, these landlords should understand, please. Ejo.
See, so that brings me to my next question.
Okay.
That brings me to my next question. What do you think we can do to help? What do you think our viewers? I'm sure they are interested.
Okay.
I mean, where you live defines your mentality.
Yes.
Where you live affects your health.
Yeah.
I'm going to insert some clips of some houses that people live in, and they are paying an outrageous amount. So what do you think we as individuals, we know the government have done their little way. There are government houses that, you know, way cheaper than what you would pay. Their internally displaced people, their orphanage homes, their, you know, places you can live. But we as individuals, what do you think we can do differently to help the whole housing issue?
Okay, I don't think there's any particular thing that we can do to help it if the people that are directly involved cannot help us. First, I use my job to pay for my rent.
Right.
So a situation whereby my boss, for instance, doesn't increase my salary. Let's say, for instance, I earn 50,000 a month, and I have a house of 250, and my boss has not increased my salary for years now. So it still boils down to where I get my money from. I don't blame people who work 9 to 5 and still go out to sell something in the evening, who has online businesses they do, who have other things. And you see those kind of persons cannot be proactive in their workplace because they have divided attention of different means of getting money because they don't want to be chased out. Who do you want to send to village people in the home to go and do what? So I think first of all, if the economy can be stabilized, this one is a general thing. It's not just a particular thing for human being. And then the bosses that we're working with, the companies we're working with can see something they can do about the salaries. And then for rent, it boils down to the landlords. If they can help us reduce the rent, it's too much. It's too much. How can a self-contained, how can, in a room with toilet and bathroom, how can you be paying 500k, 450 yearly? Why? And it's not like there's no special thing inside. There's no heater, no nothing. So no AC. It's just you carry your property and come with your bed or mat. So they should do something.
But realistically speaking, you know the issues that we don't have houses are facing. They are also facing it.
They are facing it, but don't forget, they also have another source of income.
What if they don't?
Most of them have. Most of them have. If they don't have, they have children abroad that send them money every month. Yes, I will say my mind. Yes, they have children abroad that send them money. We don't have children who don't have husband. So how am I supposed to support myself? They should consider. They should be considerate.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes.
But what is affecting you in Nigeria?
See why it's not affecting. See why I say it's not affecting them.
Might not be affecting them.
It's not affecting them because most of them did not build their house now.
Okay.
So what else are they paying for in that house?
In their defense.
They didn't build
it now, but the cost of maintenance is the present cost.
What are they maintaining? When did they paint my house? I painted it myself. So it's not like.
I mean, property, land appreciate. They don't depreciate. So that's the
so
whole
are they
point
paying government for the land, for their own land? I want to get the point where
I'm saying land appreciates. Yes. It doesn't depreciate.
Okay.
For me to have a land, I'm not expecting to get lower than how much I built it.
But considerably or considerably.
So yes, consider.
Yeah, just consider people. So don't make it outrageous for people to access, to pay.
I mean, the slang this year in Nigeria, even
not good for anybody. Not good for a landlord that they chase you out.
Somebody said, I saw it on Twitter, somebody said, even if my landlord chase me out with this current situation, I no go gree for if he tells me he's increasing the house rent and I cannot afford it, I will not pay and I will not leave the house. So I'm like, people are taking the no gree for
anybody to her. So there's also something I wanted to add. So personally, what we can do as a human being is cut your clothes according to your size.
Right.
Don't go and look for a house that you cannot afford, even though the house rents, they are all on the high side. But I feel that there is still 200,000 naira houses, 150, that even though those areas, you pack water, but then don't put your hand where it cannot reach up. I don't know how they say that, those adage, but just cut your clothes according to your size.
Right.
If you know you can do for 150 a year, depending on your salary and your source of income, do it. Don't go and live in Lekki. When you know you're supposed to be in Mushin, you now go to Lekki, or you go to Chevron or Banana Island, when you know you're supposed to be at Idiroko.
But you know, sometimes, I was actually going to even speak about it, your location affects, for me,
yes. So, but there are some places that are at Agege that you don't even know. Honestly, it's just people that you live with or where you live around. I know that when you stay at Lekki, it kind of changes your mindset. You have to be the big girl, kind of
just the way your
pearl, like yes, you have to carry your handbag and look sweet and top notch and all those things. But then when you stay at Agege, you're like, Benny,
even when you are speaking and then they ask you, where do you stay?
Show Yahweh.
You not say Agege. You know, sometimes it has actually affected my job.
Sorry, I'm not considering anybody. Okay.
For one, I stay close to Agege. So but I don't look like my location.
You cannot look like our location.
But for my job, I need to go to those places to get some of my jobs. Most of the events I cover, most of the gigs I get, they happen there. But then when I now consider transportation costs, I would want to stay there.
Yeah.
But then I can't afford it. What would I do? I would stay in Agege.
You cannot thief. No, you have to stay where you.
But some of them, like I'm defending the people that want to stay on the island, but they can't afford it. So they might have a point.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've actually deviated from what we were meant to speak about, which is how you can't blame us. It's an interesting topic and it's very broad. Everybody wants to pour out their mind, and that's what we're doing. So how do you think our viewers can help? I think I would want to say some points, which is people, there's the issue of, it's not brain drain per se, but I want to say brain drain, where the people have gone out of the country, like the citizens of Nigeria, for example.
Jackpot syndrome.
They've gone out of the country to,
Okay.
make it. I'm
Yes.
talking people who have made
Made
it
it,
here.
yeah, the
I
right
feel
way.
like, in the right way. I feel like they should. I advise, I'm not saying you must. I'm advising that you can come down to your hometown
and build. Yes.
And make it affordable
Yes,
for
true,
us.
true.
Even if you are not building or you are not helping, come and pitch
what you
to
have.
people. Come and train people.
Yes.
Train them so they can, when you leave, they can work and fend for themselves.
Yes.
I feel like you can come, number one, build houses, number two, give people shelter for free, and even maybe not for free, for a very, very affordable amount. Number three, come and train people. I'm sure there are many more, and I'm going to pass it to our viewers now to leave it down in the comment sections, because some of the people who can help would be in the comment section. It doesn't necessarily have to be people out of the country. Even the people in the upper class in Nigeria can also help. Come and take us to the upper class. Let's know what it takes to get to the upper class. So put it down in the comment section. Be free. Say your mind. Your idea might be picked and will be worked on. So let's feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section. And do you have anything you would want to say?
About housing or myself?
About housing.
Okay. All right. In addition to the housing sector, there is more we can do as an individual and collectively as a human being.
Right.
Please let's have the interest of people at heart.
Right.
People that are staying. I know that population every day increasing. I mean, people are coming to Lagos every day.
Right.
Every day.
Right.
So please just help us. We need help, and the people that need help the most on the streets. If you know there is something you can do about the shelter of your neighbor, please don't shut it.
Right.
Don't say it must be your own person.
Right.
Do it. It's a willful thing, and I know God is a willful thing. Sorry, I know God will bless you wherever you are. And people internationally, please help us. Help our people in Nigeria. Put us on the limelight. We are the best. We are the people you have at home. Please, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. So what we always do for our guests is we give them 2 minutes to sell themselves. Let's know who you are.
Oh, hello guys. My name is Precious Destiny. Like I said before, I am a media host. I'm a TV presenter, newscaster, script writer, red carpet host, voiceover artist, scripter, anything that has to do with media. That's what I do. Please reach out to me at official_Precious Destiny on social media platforms. I'll be there one chat away to give you the top-notch best. Anything that has to do with media. Thank you so much.
Is it I'm smiling for me? Thank you, media girl, for picking and answering our calls. Thank you so much. We are grateful. We are so grateful. And we've come to the end of this episode. It was an amazing one.
Yes,
it was an amazing one. And I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this episode, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to share to people that want to help. Do not forget to share to people that have ideas that want to drop in the comment section. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe right now. Hit that link. Yeah, have you subscribed? And turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when we drop a new content. And please visit our website, which is going to be showing on the screen. We're having raffle draws there, and we always have giveaways at different times. So feel free to join in on the giveaways and join in on the raffle draw. Who knows, you might be the next lucky winner. We'll see you on our next episode. Finally, this episode was sponsored by QuantmWorld in association with Milasha Web. So in the comment section as well, say thank you to Milasha Webs and QuantmWorld. So in the comment section as well, say thank you to Milasha Webs and QuantmWorld. Until next time, I remain your host, Jumoke. Bye.